In case you were wondering which hand crank I decided on the Bishop Sewing Systems hand crank, which is made in America, and this is my 9913, which is now going to be a hand crank. I've been rearranging my bobbins and hand sewing and wooden spools I'm going to need for the Dexter, and also because I can rewind them now, I can actually use them instead of the plastic spools, which will enable me to buy thread on cones, which is more economical and more planet friendly because they come on paper cones instead of plastic, and then I can wind the thread onto reusable wooden bobbins. So this is why I like the original hand wheel that would go for an electric machine on the 99. I have my little paper spindle on there with, you can see, a black painted spool, and this is how, and I hope I'm not going to get in the way with my arm. Now the Bishop Sewing System hand crank turns one turn per one stitch, but because it turns toward the front, you can't disengage the clutch when you're winding a bobbin. So you need to have fabric under the needle so that the needle has something to go through as you do this. But this is how this is going to work. So I'm using a hand crank which cuts down on electricity. I'm using my grandmother's machine, which is a family machine. I'm using reusable wooden bobbins instead of plastic, and it does, you know, take a little bit more effort because it's not as smooth as the bigger hand cranks, and you have to stop and turn your fabric around so that you're now that feels like it's a little bit difficult to turn, but that's with any machine when you engage the bobbin winder. So now I have that full enough. I'm going to pop this up, take that off my spindle, take that off. I can re-thread the machine with, and this is kind of so appropriate for this machine because my grandmother is the one that used to drive me crazy, because what she would do, she had one old metal Singer bobbin for this machine, and in fact when I got the machine she had the one bobbin and the scissors that she used tied to the top of the bentwood case. She never wanted to lose that bobbin, but she'd never take all the thread off, so when she needed to change thread colors she would just hand wind more thread on there, and untangling that bobbin was the biggest hassle. And I would pop in other bobbins and say I'll deal with it later. It took me forever to actually get all the thread off of that bobbin. So this is appropriate, that this machine, aside from me needing to keep it because it's Grandma's machine, it's a hand crank. The only drawback right now is that somebody gave my grandmother a Singer. We didn't buy this. Somebody gave my grandmother a Singer. So this is earth-friendly, planet-friendly, family-friendly, people-friendly, sewing-friendly.